Welcome to my Valentine's Day weekend wine tasting. You saw the video earlier where I went to Trader Joe's and picked out 4 wines for about $23.50 instead of $115. And we have really nice cheeses here, so we're going to do a wine tasting with the wine and the cheese like we have done before. If you've not seen that, I will link that below, above rather. That was in August. My special guest is my husband. Okay, we're just gonna get started right away. The first wine, because of you, was suggested to be a Moscato d'Asti, which is bubbly, or Prosecco. Because you don't like bubbly, I just got a regular Moscato instead. This is the Bluefin from Trader Joe's. Price point was $4.91 on this. So we're gonna taste the wine first, and then we'll taste the cheese. The cheese that goes with this one is the Asiago that has been aged for 10 months, which is the middle range one. So we're starting off with white and we're going to work our way to reds. So definitely sweet smelling. Let's see if there's any descriptions on the back. It's a California wine. It has a little bit of fizz to it, even though it's not a bubbly wine.
That's correct. It does.
Yeah. It's not a d'Asti, so
almost like a wine spritzer.
Yeah, but we've had that before with some of the Moscatos, and I'm not sure why they do that. It's not a d'Asti, but it is a smidge bubbly. Not as bubbly as you would get in a regular one. It's good. If you like sweet wine, it's good. It's not, and actually, quite honestly, to me, it's not as sweet as some of the Moscatos out there on the market.
Also, a lot of Moscatos will have a slight citrus twing to it. So what cheese are we pairing this with?
We're pairing this with the an Asiago. Normally when we taste any food or cheese with a wine, you want to taste, at least I like to taste what you're tasting first and then take the wine behind it. So this is just it's punchy.
Very typical Asiago. Very good. It would be very good shaved.
Yeah.
On salads.
Yeah, definitely on salads. I don't know that I would want to eat it plain like this all the time. Maybe melt it on something. This is actually, to me, this is sharper than a regular Asiago because it's been aged longer.
I like it.
I'm going to take
Let's see what it does
a bite
with
of
the
the
wine.
punchy cheese along with the Moscato. Does anything for you?
No.
I think I might make the wine a little sweeter.
I'm not even detecting that.
No?
I mean, it's good. I mean, but there's no change on the palate.
Yeah. And maybe that's because this is not, I don't know if this is because we didn't use the wine that was really recommended, which is the Prosecco or the Moscato d'Asti. But the only difference I know between this and the Moscato d'Asti is I think the other one's a little sweeter. The Proseccos are not sweeter. Maybe the bubbles do something, I don't know. But I don't think I care for the pairing personally, but the wine's good.
I like cheese too. Again, they're good. It's not that they're bad together, there's just no interaction between them.
Yeah. I guess I was expecting more of an interaction. Okay, so our second tasting tonight is a Beaujolais from Trader Joe's. George Dubouf, I might be saying this wrong, the gentleman helped me find it. I found it online and it was recommended to do with a brie cheese. So I'm very excited to try that cheese. It's a triple cream brie, so it sounds like it's going to be really good. So we will taste the wine first. Now, a Beaujolais is supposed to be, I believe, on the jammy side. It also suggested cherry jam on a baguette with this wine. I don't have cherry wine. I might have cherry. I think I ate the cherry jam that I had, but let's see if this bottle says anything. This smells really good.
So jam would be an interesting term because that's exactly what this smells like. If you imagine a jar of really good grape jelly.
It doesn't smell grapey to me. Well, I guess it's wine, grapes.
Actually, it smells like, cherry or pomegranate.
Really?
And
It says the wine is fresh, light-bodied, and generously fruity. right, and it's a 2019 vintage, and it's 90 points, which is pretty good for a wine. That's good.
Very light.
It's very light, like one of the lightest red wines I can recall.
Little aftertaste.
A little bit of aftertaste, yeah. It's not oaky. I happen to love oaky, and it's not really oaky.
I guess the light body of it
It's throwing me.
is, I don't know if it's throwing me or maybe it's just, well, in general, I like a full body red. And I'm finding this just a little lacking in depth.
This one I believe was $5.91, so it was. I have to look at the list of how much they were. If you look at my other video, it says exactly how much they were. There's two that are $4.91, one that's $5.91, and then there's one that's $7.91, and it was either this or the other red that we're gonna be trying. All right, let's try the triple cream. I'm really excited to try this brie.
And you want to do it on?
I think I want mine on a Melba toast. You can do that or on a Ritz. I meant to get baguette bread, and I was running around today and forgot, so I figure Melba toast might be a good second. What are you gonna have it on?
Just gonna have it on the cracker.
Very creamy. That's good. I'm gonna take this wine behind it. Changes the wine for me. Good pairing.
What's interesting about the cheese itself. So, did you ever have a brie? Not that brie's a heavy cheese by any stretch, but it's there's depth to the brie. Typically, the one we find at the grocery store, I can't remember the name of the brand offhand, but they're the one that we do with the orange marmalade on top.
Yeah.
Okay. This brie is actually softer and creamier. Almost has a consistency of a butter to a
whipped butter. Maybe.
Yes, to a whipped butter.
Right. I believe this is a thumbs up.
Yeah, and I do believe this would have been fantastic on a
baguette.
On a baguette.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me when we went to the one of my favorite restaurants in Key West, a Croissants de France in Key West.
Yeah, it's a breakfast place right on Duval Street where they serve a breakfast sandwich on a baguette with brie and what else did it have on it?
Oh, it had brie and smoked salmon and capers. It was just a fantastic combination.
Well, maybe we can use some smoked salmon and create a little breakfast sandwich for tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we might be doing that. I don't like salmon, but I think I might get some jam, put jam on it.
Very good.
Okay, for our third wine, this is a Zinfandel, which is one of my favorite wines outside of the Sangiovese that we will have in a bit. So this is this red Zinfandel from Paso Robles. Now my family has been to Paso Robles and they've actually brought me wine from there, and they make some really good wines out of Paso Robles. This is a 2019 vintage, which is newer in the vintages of California, which could be why it was reasonably priced. And we're gonna taste this wine first. And then it's going to be with a very interesting cheese. There you go.
I find it interesting that your pores are larger than mine.
Okay, well, you know, a fun Evan is a buzzed Evan. So, now I've had these wine bottles open for, what, about 20, 30 minutes now?
Maybe
So
not, yeah, just to,
So
just
they're
enough to
breathing.
air it, just enough to breathe a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, it smells good. Now, I happen to like an oaky.
Very, so,
It smells oaky to me. Which
first
I love.
initial thought after the aroma is oak. And quite a strong oak, actually.
These are organically grown grapes. So this is an organic wine, which is going to be good for you because it probably doesn't have sulfates in it. We have been, I know it doesn't say it on there, But typically, an organic wine...
Contains sulfites.
It does have sulfites? Okay.
Yeah, it's a red wine. It's got to have sulfites.
Because I know they do make non-sulfite wine out there somewhere, and I believe it's with organic grapes, but...
Certified organic grapes by California Certified Organic Farmers. And how much is this wine?
I believe that was $7.91.
Okay, well, typically the word organic and $7.91 for organic certified bottled wine.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see how it tastes. So
Yeah.
If it doesn't...
So it says that it's jammy and complex with blackberry, cherry, and cassis, I don't know what cassis is, flavors, accompanied by peppery spice, which means...
Well, it's a Zinfandel. It's going to have a little kick
But
to
usually,
it.
usually when I think peppery, I think of Shiraz, which is not my favorite kind of
That's
wine.
another one.
Leading into a long, pleasing finish. Okay, let's give it a whirl. Oh, it's good.
Okay, so for a Zinfandel,
It's very good.
it's very light.
Yeah,
Zinfandel's typically going to be a little fuller body
Yeah.
wine.
I like it though. It's not as thin as the other one though. I like the oak.
There's a lasting on the palate of jam and fruity. Can't say that I pick up blackberry, but it is fruity. I actually like this.
I do like it, but at the very, very, very end,
And
I can taste the pepper, and
See,
I
I'm
don't
not.
like the pepper.
so
I can taste. I have a super, super sensitive tongue. He handles spicy stuff way better than I do. Like, he'll hand me a jalapeno popper and go, oh, this isn't hot. And then I taste it, and you have to scrape me off the roof. Because my tongue cannot handle spice. I have a... If he has a choice, if you have a choice between sweet and salty, you pick...
salty.
And I pick sweet. So I think our taste buds are completely different. I'm very sensitive, so I can taste the pepper. Not off the very beginning, but at the very, very end after it's been sitting.
I can't detect that at all.
Really? All right, well, it'll be interesting. I'm going to pick up this cheese to show you because it's such a cool looking cheese. This is 5 cheeses in one. It's actually called Singleton's 5-County Cheddar Stripy Jack. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to eat this because I'm thinking you're supposed to maybe take a thin slice and pop the whole thing in your mouth. This part kind of fell off, so I don't know. Yeah, you might want to just get rid of that initial part so we can get into the next part. Yeah.
It's interesting. My initial thought when Wendy brought this home of all these cheeses they kind of pressed together to make this flavor is like, why? It's an interesting look. We'll see how it pairs with the wine and the overall taste. But you're right, because of it's about 4 inches in width. So it's interesting, or it's about how are you supposed to, for example, in our case now, how are we supposed to sample this?
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be is that we
They're super thin.
and then just double it up.
Okay. Oh my god. So I'm gonna pop this entire part in my mouth.
Because it's the only way you're going to get it all.
Let's do. So good. These are all a cheddar. It's called a cheddar stripy jack.
I'm not getting it.
Well, I'm taking it with the wine. Oh, it is good with the wine.
What is the white one in the middle?
Okay, I don't know the order, but this is what's in it: cheddar, Lancashire, a double Gloucester, a red Leicester, which we've had with the Aldi one, and a Wensleydale. I don't know what a Wensleydale is.
Let me just pick this up and show the camera again. There's this white one in the middle that is creamier than the other piece. And from a texture standpoint, that's throwing me off because some of the other cheeses are a little denser.
Yeah.
And that softest cheese, it's almost like a I want to say like when it crumbles in your mouth, it kind of reminds me of a feta from a texture standpoint when it crumbles, but it's not where it tastes like it. So it's throwing me off from a texture standpoint. What I'd like to do is try just these first 2.
Okay.
Without, and just kind of.
Mister, you want a piece of cheese? Here.
We have a visitor.
Here. You want to try that? Last time, with the sage one, he does. He likes it. He's so hilarious. He's a hilarious cat. He's almost like a dog in a cat suit. Or
Okay, so
yeah,
try
dog
this.
in a cat suit.
Try this piece.
Okay.
This is just
Just the first two.
just the
We
first
don't even
two.
know what they are, but okay.
And there's no. It's
With
next,
the wine behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
And tell me what I think, because I think you're gonna have a different experience.
Yeah. It's nutty.
Yeah, that
That's
white,
different.
that center white one is throwing me off. Now I want to do the same thing
Okay.
with the other two on the other side.
And leave out the middle
Leave
one.
out the middle one.
Okay. Okay. Wait. You still have stuff on here.
Yeah. I know.
All right, so this is the last two.
Right. This is the other side of it.
All right.
You know, just looks like a Jack and a Cheddar of some sort, but
It's all good.
just second half I like better than the first half.
Well, the first half's sharper than the second half.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of a mild section.
That works too.
It does, but the nuttiness went away.
Yes, good. Well, they're different cheeses.
I had a nutty flavor on the first two,
So
and more of a sharp bringing back the oaky on the second. And now we're just gonna do the middle. This is interesting.
so
Okay.
grab the middle one there.
Okay.
From a texture standpoint, it reminds me of a feta as it falls apart. And I don't like it. I think that's what was throwing me off for the whole, when we were doing the whole thing.
Actually, I think the best match of all of it was the back two.
Agreed.
The back two was like all of a sudden it brought this nuttiness on it, which
again,
was like, wow.
Going back to when you first brought this home, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, okay, this is weird. There's literally 5 different cheeses. The front 2 were sharper, the back 2 were milder, and the one in the middle is a completely different texture of the previous. And this is why when I tasted the whole thing, I'm like, okay, this doesn't work. And that's why.
Right.
The texture's off. I mean, I guess I'm kind of like a little bit of loss of words on it because, again, when you first brought this home, and I'm saying this for the 3rd time, the whole thing just didn't make sense to me, and I'm seeing why now.
It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting, though. I didn't mind the whole line in a row.
Well, it was an interesting thing to do tonight. It was an interesting thing to try and see how it was kind of broken down.
This is what with the wine shop, Vintage Wines, they sell wine and cheese. And this is what they decided to put together. They were matching it with their wines, but I decided to do a less expensive wine version. But I like their pick of cheeses. I think my favorite, though, of the 3 is definitely that brie. That brie is good.
The brie was good.
Yeah,
so
it was really good.
A thought just popped into my head. So we've been doing wine and cheese tastings for many years. And the very first one we did, if I recall correctly, was on our honeymoon cruise in Alaska. And Wendy sees the listing for this, and everything was included. And we sign up for it. And there was like 5 or 6 different wines. And of course, they just give you the tiny little pieces, you know, in these events for the wine. And every pairing was a pairing that Wendy wouldn't eat. There was a goose liver pate.
Why would you eat goose liver?
There was
Ew.
blue cheese.
No.
There was some. I'm trying to think. There was another one on there that you didn't like. That was a protein, but
probably rabbit.
But it was the whole thing was just absolutely. It was delicious and it was a lot of fun.
You got to eat 2 of everything because I was drinking the wine and not the food.
And the other most interesting one, again, was on a cruise ship. We were on a cruise ship from Southampton, England to Barcelona, Spain, 4 years ago?
Gosh, it feels like a million years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, 4 years ago, and it was a French tasting. And my favorite line of wines are French Bordeaux's. And they had 2 out of the 3 wines were Bordeaux's. So we signed up for it on the ship, and this one was not included, and it was quite honestly quite expensive. And they paired most of it with just a couple of cheeses, but with fruit.
Yeah.
There was a lot more fruit involved in that one, and that one was interesting.
That was where the high top table and we were all sitting around it.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was an interesting.
That was the Symphony of the Seas. We were on the maiden voyage.
Yes, that's correct.
That was a nice ship. We won't be cruising anytime soon. Hopefully, when the world gets back to normal again. Because one of our favorite things to do is cruises, because you unpack once and get to see a lot of different places, and then decide whether or not you want to go back to those places. We already know we want to go back to Spain someday, because Spain was amazing. All right, next up is pizza.
Here we go.
So this next wine is one of my favorites, which is Sangiovese. It's an Italian wine that goes great with pizza and pasta, any Italian dish really, but I like it with pizza. Now, when I researched this one, it suggested a roasted vegetable pizza, and when I was at Trader Joe's, I happened to find a roasted vegetable pizza, which is what I popped in the, it was frozen, and I popped in the oven. Just in case we don't like this pizza, I wasn't sure. I also went out and got just a regular cheese pizza from our favorite pizza place, Best New York Pizza here in Tampa. So, and that's what we had the last time when we were did this in August. So, let's first try the wine.
So while you're pouring that, the pizza has roasted vegetables, red onions, zucchini, mushrooms, green, yellow peppers, red bell peppers. That looks like about it. Looks like there might be two different types of cheeses on the pizza as well, because it looks like there's a white creamy cheese on there too, outside of a regular mozzarella.
So this says notes of sweet fruits intertwined with hints of Mediterranean spices, visualized or vitalized, I don't have my glasses on, by an acidity balanced by balsamic and fragrant flavors, extending in finish and inviting the next sip.
So it's interesting, the aroma of this, I am getting notes of plums or blackberries, maybe even an elderberry.
You don't even know what an elderberry really smells like.
That's from another wine tasting at Disney. That was
hilarious.
Another long hysterical story.
Ooh, that smells good.
Elderberry.
I love it. All right, going over the taste. Oh, so good. This is better than the Red Zin to me.
So it's a little more fuller bodied.
It's more fuller bodied for sure.
And by the way, virtually none of these wines have much legs.
Oh, well, it's because they're light body. I wasn't even checking the legs, but I don't typically like the heavy stuff like you do. You like the cabs. I'm like, on the cabs. All right, let's dig in to the pizza. You made giant slices. I want a smaller giant slice. I'll take that one. All right, here we go. I'm going to taste the roasted vegetable pizza. Which, for a frozen pizza, is pretty dang good.
Really good vegetables and cardboard.
You don't like it? Oh, it's good. But now...
Actually, you know, I think this we a little overcooked it a little bit.
Yeah, I think I might have overcooked it a little bit. It's just a little burnt, but...
I'm so hungry. No, actually, the roasted vegetables are good. They're there's another cheese on this outside of the regular mozzarella.
I'll have to go look in the box. I don't think there's anything more than mozzarella on here. I didn't really taste.
I think it's. I mean, first of all, so the most interesting part is there really isn't much out there in pizzas with roasted vegetables on it.
That's why I bought this when I saw it, because I knew that the match said roasted vegetables on it. I'm like, I don't know any pizza places are going to give us roasted vegetables. They'll give us vegetables, but these were specific, said roasted vegetables on the package. Taste it with your wine. Tell me if you taste the difference. I don't know if I'm really tasting. I'm actually starting to feel the wines already.
No.
Yeah, me either. Pull out the other one. Let's see if it changes. Because last time with the other pizza, it actually was even better when we had the same previous. All right, I'm gonna take one of these. It's a little cold though. It's been sitting a little bit. This pizza is saltier than that pizza.
Oh wow, you are absolutely right. It just
It's way saltier, which might.
it comes out well. Cheese has natural salt. Well, this particular pizza place uses 100% mozzarella, full fat, full cheese, and with a little Asiago on top.
And the wine's better with it.
I just don't think the other one has enough cheese on it. And it's also not a fair comparison because we're doing a cheese pizza
Versus a roasted vegetable
versus a
pizza.
roasted vegetable pizza.
Well, I just went with what the
And fresh
website
and
said.
fresh versus frozen. I mean, it's really, truly not a comparison.
Right, but that pizza's very good. But I think as far as matching the wine, this one goes better. The cheese pizza from our local favorite pizza place goes better than this one. And it's really weird. So we're in Tampa, and finding a good pizza has been a little challenging, I think. Best New York Pizza, they make a really good pizza. The guy's originally from Brooklyn. We used to go to this place in South Tampa called Cesar's. The man was from Italy.
Via New York.
Via New York in Queens, and then came here, and he had his own farm where all the tomatoes would come from his farm, and everything was all natural and everything. And sadly, he passed away, and then the family decided that it was time to, end it with him. And we were so sad because he was such a nice man, and his wife, and the pizza was amazing. Probably the best pizza that Tampa's ever seen.
So, what was interesting is that this is a typical New York style pizza. Mm-hmm. If that's what you're into,
I grew up in New Jersey, so yeah.
It's one of the better pizzas. Mm-hmm. There's another pizza place we go to locally called Lito's Pizza, which is square cut, more like a Chicago cut, but thin. And it's just totally unique and different on its own, and it's very good. We enjoy that quite a bit. We actually had that 2 weeks ago.
It's good, but I like this better.
And then there's another place about 7 miles away from here called Wood Fired Pizza. I've met the owner many times. It's a wood-fired oven. The pizza's done very quickly, very super thin crust. He uses absolutely the highest quality ingredients, very unique combinations of pizza.
It's not a
stuff.
cheap pizza, but
It
it's
is
a
not.
good pizza.
It is. They call it gourmet pizzas.
It is.
Their large pizza, which is a 16-inch, is like $24. It's super
That's
expensive. But everything is just fantastic. There's nothing you can't call it. You can't call it New York. It's not. It's its own thing. Mm-hmm. And that is absolutely my favorite pizza. But at $24 for a 16-inch pizza pie, it's not something we get very often.
Yeah.
But it is just off the charts.
All right, I think it's a thumbs up for the wine. And which pizza do you like better with it?
Oh, best New York.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna pause and finish our pizza. And when we come back, we're gonna go back to the Red Zin for dessert. Okay, we are back. We had our pizza, and now it is time for dessert. So we are going back to the Red Zin because Red Zin pairs really well with chocolate. First up is this. I just put it in the microwave. It is nice and warm. This is the lava cake from Trader Joe's. One cake is 370 calories, so he's splitting this with me. So
I will have a bite. I have a figure that I need to maintain.
all right, so let's dig in, and oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but it's dripping everywhere and it's ooey gooey.
You should put a little whipped cream on the side.
I should have put whipped cream. We can go get it in a bit. So taste the cake and then taste the wine. The same Red Zin as we had before. That's a good lava cake.
So the lava cake is good.
Considering I just popped it in the microwave?
Well, that's all you need to do.
And it's really good with the wine.
So
Right.
I am not a sweet person, but I really enjoy the cake, and I don't particularly care for sharing it with wine. I mean, if I had an espresso, I think I would be
We can go make espressos too.
a little happier with
That's so good. I like it with the wine.
the best lava cake ever is where?
Carnival Cruise.
Carnival Cruise Lines.
That's what I said in my other video.
Carnival Cruise Lines. absolutely the best. It's like, don't even bother looking at the dessert menu. Just get the lava cake. I don't know what they do, how they do, why they do, but it is absolutely the best.
Okay, the other thing we're pairing, and I'm going to call it a night, is this is the Cocoa Truffles, which I have had before from Trader Joe's. They're little tiny chocolate truffles. So take a bite of this. Now, I don't know. I know you don't like dark chocolate. I honestly don't know if this is dark or regular. So it doesn't say on the box. I'm thinking it's regular.
I'm thinking it's dark because it's just, well, hold on
I
a
don't know.
second.
It's currently melting in my hand. So I'm just going to pop the whole thing in my mouth.
Okay, I would say it's dark for one reason only.
What?
Well, actually, technically, there's milk.
Oh, there's milk in it. It's not dark chocolate.
First ingredient. Oh, did you read the ingredient list on this?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay, so she doesn't know what's in this. And this probably won't be edited out. Your first ingredient, coconut oil.
Really?
Which you don't like.
No, I don't like coconut water.
Okay. Sugar.
It's good.
Cocoa powder.
It's very sweet.
Whey powder, which is milk. Soy lectin emulsifier. Natural flavor. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last ingredient.
All right, we'll go with the ingredients. Give me that box
Organic, this is not.
Okay. Honestly, I just tried it with the lime. Not my favorite. I like the lava cake better with the lime. Now taste your wine. I know you like espresso with the cake, but I think that tastes better with that wine than the truffles.
Mm.
Yeah?
I'd agree. And the interesting
So would you say that
truffles,
that's darker milk? Because you don't like dark chocolate. I wouldn't say that's bitter.
I wouldn't put it in a category of darker. I would lean towards dark more than milk.
This is good.
Oh,
Get yourself some lava cake from Cheddar Joe's. It's really good.
I have to say that lava cake is very
It's
good.
very good.
Go Carnival Cruise Lines. Interesting about the cocoa truffles, they've got cocoa powder on the outside, which of course makes a mess on your hands when you pick it up.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I think it was a fun tasting. We did 3 cheeses, the pizza. I'm full.
So the point that I want to make here, so we've had some really good and bad, inexpensive wines. And we've had some fantastic, very expensive wines. And the point that really of doing these tastings, especially with the inexpensive wines where you can get at Trader Joe's, is that everybody's taste is different. And what I like in a $7 bottle of wine, you may think is really horrible. What you like in a $30 bottle of wine, which of course would be $60+ at a restaurant, I might find terrible. It's all about individual taste.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think personally, considering I literally spent $23.50 on 4 bottles of wine, I'd say that we did pretty well. If I had to say, like, oh my God, yes, I would get these bottles again, I would get 2 out of the 4.
You know what the hardest part is about doing this? Is to remember which ones that you actually really like.
That's true.
And which ones you don't like. Literally, people, write it down. If you find something that's a Trader Joe's $5, $7, $9 bottle of wine, which is really an inexpensive bottle, and you really enjoy it, write it down so you can save money and not spend $30 at the liquor store and not say, well, there's a fancy label, it looks great, you know, it says, and the other,
I would buy the Growers Reserve again. Trader Joe's Growers Reserve, made just for Trader Joe's, from the Paso Robles, the red zin that went with the pizza, that went with the striped jack cheese and the dessert. I would get that bottle again.
And the fact that it's certified organic,
amazing,
is absolutely,
at that price point, amazing.
Well, it's
way more expensive normally.
Oh yeah, and because what's really frustrating and hard, because it's organic, that does not necessarily, well, it may mean it, you know, obviously the pesticides and so forth, so it's better for you. Okay, but that doesn't mean it's a better quality product.
Not necessarily. I mean, we've had some really low price point wines that have been unbelievable.
Right.
And we've had some really expensive wines that have been horrible. So
a $7 bottle of wine that happens to be organic, that happens to be good, is a win-win-win.
Yeah.
All the way across the board. You just can't beat that.
Grab the Sangiovese. That's the other one I would get again. I think this, out of both of them, I think the Sangiovese is my favorite. What's the name of that one?
Griffon.
Yeah, I would get that one again. Where does it say where it's coming out of?
Italy.
Really, it's an Italian wine.
It's an Italian wine.
So it's actually from Italy, and the price point is amazing.
Bottled in Italy, imported by Latitude Wines, Danville, California.
Okay, so it was imported from California, but it was actually made in Italy. So, I mean, come on, for under $10 for a bottle?
12.5% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, I'm buzzed from all the wines we just did.
And the interesting part is, because of COVID and imports and taxes and so forth like that, this is especially a strong buy. How much was this bottle?
I believe that was the high-priced one at $7.91. It was either $7.91 or $5.91. Either way, under $10 a bottle. Come on, not under $8. The highest priced bottle I paid for was $7.91.
Right.
So for under $8,
and just to give you
unbelievable, and it's a good wine.
Just to give you a comparison, one of my more favorite, such a word, one of the ones that I happen to like is I'm more into Pinot Noirs.
Yeah, we had no Pinot Noirs in this tasting.
And typically, if you look into a Josh Pinot Noir or a what's the other one that we like? Brand that makes the Chardonnay.
Oh, La Crema.
La Crema.
La Crema makes a great
La Crema
Pinot
has
Noir.
3 different lines of Pinot Noirs that range, like at the grocery store, from $28 to $40, $45 a bottle, and they're fantastic. And
they're all fantastic.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Okay, but $7 a bottle, and you like it?
Buy it again.
Buy it again. I mean,
for sure.
It's a win-win.
Especially if you're gonna have friends over, you're gonna be going through a lot. You don't want to spend a lot of money. I mean, it's amazing. It really is good. We're gonna we have the corking thing where you take the air out of it. We'll probably be corking up most of them, although we are pretty low on the red Zin.
Oh, we're gonna finish that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Valentine's Day weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. So thank you for tuning into the wonderful world of Wendy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Give us a big thumbs up. Us meaning me, because he's just the guest star. Because the fact that I was able to get him to do this is kind of amazing. And I think secretly he likes to do this with me. And I'll see you on my next adventure, which is going to be Disney again. All right, bye.